The bridge of the Zephyrian flagship Eternal Vigilance fell into an eerie silence as Commander Elsa stared at the tactical display. The massive holographic projection showed something that shouldn't exist. A human dreadnought, unmarked and unregistered, materializing from the void like a ghost from humanity's forgotten past. "Analysis complete, Commander," reported Lieutenant Helen, her blue-scaled fingers dancing across the sensor array. "The vessel measures 12 kilometers in length. Its energy signature is unprecedented. I'm reading power levels that exceed our entire fleet combined." Elsa's four eyes narrowed as she studied the behemoth on screen. The ship was unlike anything in the galactic databases, sleek yet brutal, with angular armor plating that seemed to absorb light itself. Strange geometric patterns covered its hull, pulsing with an inner radiance that made her species' natural night vision ache. "How long since humanity went dark?" Elsa asked, though she already knew the answer. 300 standard cycles," Helen replied grimly. "The last human transmission was a simple message: we're going home to prepare. Then nothing. Every human colony, every outpost, every ship, they all vanished simultaneously. The galaxy had celebrated at first. Humanity had been the upstart species, the aggressive newcomers who had dared to challenge the established order. Their disappearance meant peace, stability, a return to the natural hierarchy that had governed civilized space for millennia. But as the years passed, something felt wrong. Trade routes became predictable. Conflicts followed ancient patterns. Innovation stagnated. The galaxy had grown boring. "Commander," Helen's voice cracked slightly, "we're receiving a transmission." On screen, the view screen flickered and a human face appeared, weathered, scarred, with eyes that held depths of experience no organic being should possess. When the figure spoke, his voice carried the weight of centuries. "Greetings, children of the stars. I am Admiral Marcus Chen of the Terran Synthesis fleet. This vessel is the Prometheus Unbound. We have returned." Elsa felt her breathing apparatus constrict. The Terran Synthesis fleet was legend, whispered stories of humanity's final military project before their disappearance. Most scholars dismissed it as myth. "You claim to represent the Galactic Federation," Chen continued. "Yet in our absence, you have learned nothing. Your species wage the same petty wars, squabble over the same resources, and limit yourselves to the same technological plateaus your ancestors embraced 1,000 years ago." The tactical display updated, showing energy signatures throughout the system. Elsa's blood chilled as she realized the truth. The Prometheus Unbound wasn't alone. Dozens of similar signatures were decloaking throughout Federation space, appearing simultaneously across hundreds of light years. "What do you want?" Elsa transmitted back, hoping her voice sounded steadier than she felt. Chen's smile held no warmth. "We want to show you what 3 centuries of preparation can accomplish. Humanity didn't vanish. We evolved. We transcended the limitations you accepted as natural law." The human dreadnought began to move, its massive bulk accelerating impossibly fast. But more disturbing than its speed was what followed in its wake. Reality itself seemed to bend and flow, creating corridors through space-time that allowed instantaneous travel between distant points. "Impossible," Helen whispered. "They're manipulating fundamental space-time geometry in real time." "During our exile," Chen's voice continued, "we discovered that every galactic species had made the same mistake. You achieved faster-than-light travel and declared physics conquered. You developed energy weapons and called yourselves advanced. You created AI and assumed you understood intelligence itself." The view screen split, showing scenes from across the galaxy. Human vessels were appearing everywhere, not attacking, but demonstrating. They moved through asteroid fields by phasing matter, converted stars into massive computational matrices, and terraformed planets in minutes rather than decades. "We learned to rewrite physical laws like you rewrite legislation," Chen explained. "We became gardeners of reality itself. And now we return to find our garden overrun with weeds." Elsa stood from her command throne, her 4 arms spread in a gesture of both defiance and supplication. "What are your terms?" "Terms?" Chen laughed, and the sound echoed with harmonics that suggested his voice was merely the surface of something vast and multifaceted. "Commander Elsa of the Zephyrian Navy, you misunderstand our purpose. We aren't here to conquer. We're here to elevate." The Prometheus Unbound began transmitting data streams, not to their computers but directly into the minds of every sentient being in the system. Knowledge flowed like water, mathematical proofs that revealed new dimensions of reality, technological blueprints that defied conventional physics, philosophical frameworks that expanded consciousness itself. Helen collapsed, overwhelmed by the influx of information. Around the bridge, other crew members were experiencing similar reactions, not pain, but the growing awareness of how limited their previous understanding had been. "For 3 centuries, we prepared not weapons but gifts," Chen said softly. "We returned not as conquerors but as teachers. The galaxy went silent in fear when we appeared, but silence is merely the pause before a new symphony begins." Elsa felt her own consciousness expanding, touching concepts that her species had never imagined. She saw the galaxy not as a collection of competing civilizations, but as a single organism capable of transcendence. "The question," Chen concluded, "is not whether you will accept our guidance, but whether you possess the courage to become more than you are. Evolution is not a choice. It is the fundamental imperative of existence itself." As the Prometheus Unbound established orbit, its hull began to transform, unfolding like a flower to reveal vast gardens of crystalline technology and impossible architecture. The age of stagnation was over. Humanity had returned not to rule the galaxy but to awaken it. The silence was broken by a sound no galactic species had heard in 300 years, the first notes of genuine progress, echoing across the cosmos like a promise of wonders yet to come.